Welcome or welcome back to my little creative corner of the internet. And welcome to our Junk Journal January tour of 2025. Can't believe we already finished this first challenge of 2025. And let's dive into this jam-packed full journal and creative fun from January. Did you take part in Junk Journal January? Let me know in the comments down below. I would absolutely love to hear from you. But now let's dive in. The first day obviously the first challenge was to decorate the cover, and here I did a bit of a collage with different antique vintage inspired fonts, and I really think this turned out super cute, and I love the little pearly button I included here at the bottom. I really tried to work more three-dimensional on this journal. That's why I wanted it to be like a just simple sewn journal in the beginning, so that I have a bunch of space to expand with experimenting with different materials. Now let's get into the journal, shall we? So, here in the inside cover I did include all the prompts for the Junk Journal January challenge. The lovely Mac journals did this little collage for all of us, and then I did a little let's go to go through it. Like I did in my Junk Journal July challenge last year, I didn't work in a chronological order in this journal. I did hop around and always looked for which kind of spread would fit the prompt of the day. It's a bit back and forth, but I thought we do a flip through the journal and just hop around from day 9 to day 20 or whatever. Let's see. So, day 9 was the prompt of hidden. And so I decided it would be perfect to have this little collage peek out of here, of this envelope. You could also open up the envelope a bit more to peek a bit more inside, but I think I prefer it shut here. Just have the model peek out at one point. And I did have this little tuck spot to help the envelope be closed, but it's not staying closed very well. Never mind, I do use this clip on the completed journal to keep it shut. Now let's go on to our next spread, which is funnily day 2. The prompt for day 2 was envelope, and I decided to not use that envelope here in the beginning and wanted to include this small little envelope here in my journal. This little small envelope is part of one of my printables. I will leave a link in the description down below if you want to use some of the ephemera that I used in this journal. I will link everything that you can find in my shop in the description down below. Now on to one of the spreads that was kept empty. There are a few ones that I didn't really complete because I had more space in the journal than there were days and prompts, and on some days I wanted to do a double spread, or I did include more than just one page in one spread, and I wanted to be able to do so. That's why I decided to include a few more pages into my journal when I did the setup. And so I have a few pages that are quite empty, or that are empty, but I think the beautiful part about junk journaling is that the pages themselves have kind of interesting things to look at, so it's not that bad to leave a space empty, in my opinion, and maybe I will be going back to add something later on. I did also add a few elements throughout the months that aren't included in the daily videos I did for each page. Also, I will leave a link to the full Junk Journal January playlist in the description down below, where you can find all my 31 videos for this challenge. Here on to day number 3. The theme was ticket, so I had printed out this cinema kind of vintage inspired ticket, and I did add something of a gift bag and something from a magazine to make a bit of a vintage circus kind of inspired spread. Now let's flip on over. This is another page that is kind of empty. Maybe I will add something here onto, but I really like the illustration, and then I never found a day where it would have been fitting to just use that spread. Now let's go on to day 11, and the prompt was magazine. I really love how this spread turned out. This has to be one of my favorite spreads of my Junk Journal January challenge, but to be honest, there are quite a few spreads in here that I really love the outcome. All in all, I'm quite happy with how this challenge went, and I'm really happy with this journal. It's so fun, and I'm very proud of us all for taking part and sticking with this challenge at the beginning of the new year, to start the year right with some creative challenges. And I think this spread turned out really cool. The prompt for day 11 was magazine. Now on to a few more empty pages. They are here and there, and maybe I will add some journaling onto here later on. And here, little illustration. That is part of a spread that we will come to here now. But first, let's look at day number 5. The day number 5 prompt was depth, and so I decided to use more than one page to give the spread some depth by including it into like 3 pages wide and have them peek through at each other. Also, I did complete this weird little face drawing later on, and here I did do a little frame, and then here's the second frame with some stuff more peeking through. Those bows are also from the Chaotic Academia printable that you can get in my Etsy shop, as well as the little envelope here from day 2. So if you want to get yourself some ephemera for your journal, everything is linked in the description down below. And here I did draw another face, because for day 13, which was the prompt of Opaque, I decided to kind of use the frame of this page again, because I think it's quite funny to have something peeking through. And I did include this little see-through part for the day number, to have something here that is not opaque on the page, kind of. I think I could have maybe done one of the complete transparent spreads, but I don't know. I really was happy with these kind of tear through pages, and I really thought it would be fun to do something on the backside with them as well. That's why. And on to day number 15. For day number 15, the prompt was neutral, and that's why I did a more minimalistic kind of collage here. Embrace simplicity. A comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. Did include some black and white pictures, and I did get some new washi tape for Christmas, and I wanted to include that as well as the little tags of the washi tape. I just really like to include those packing material stuff of my art supplies somewhere in my junk journals. And the washi tape, it's this one here. It's a black and white dotted thing, and I thought it would be fit perfectly to the neutral kind of spread. And I also included another button here, but that one wasn't quite from the neutral page. It's more the backside of this button. I will go on to that in a moment. This is also a spread I really like the outcome of, and yeah, like I said, there are quite a bunch of spreads that I'm really happy with. Now on to day 10, where I did more of a Maximalist kind of light academia vibes with a bunch of trim here. This lace ribbon kind of thing I added here and here on the page, as well as here as a flag to the tag, to include it all over the page. And then I wanted to, besides those flowers, I thought it would be perfect to include a little flower button here, and that's why I did include this pearl button on the back there, because it would, yeah, it kind of makes both buttons stay in place when they are sewn together through the page. So that was my reasoning behind that. Now let's go on to day 12 and the theme of overlap. And that's why I created this flap here and did continue to draw the book that is beneath here onto the spread to make it kind of overlap, and then say something else that would fit the violins here in a way. And if you open the flap, it says "Life is a game" and has some stars. That is quite a simple spread, but I think it turned out cute as well. This was one of the days where I was a bit uninspired by the prompt in a way, so I had to think about it a bit more. Also, I really enjoyed creating this challenge. I really enjoyed creating all the different pages with those daily prompts in this challenge this time. But there were a few where I took more time to think about and that didn't really spark an idea immediately. I think it's super ambitious to come up with 31 prompts for a challenge like that, and also Mac Journals is doing it for so long that she has to, I don't know if she tries to not repeat her prompts. I'm only taking part in this junk journal challenge for the second time, and I think it's quite amazing to come up with all those ideas. It really helps with daily creations when you got a prompt list where you can work on and you don't have to come up with something completely from scratch. Here's on to day 17, and the prompt was fragile, and I thought a beauty shot from a magazine was perfect for this, as well as those kind of vases inspired beauty and fashion photography from a magazine that I had laying around. And I also wanted to, then I added a quote here, "Beauty is fragile too," to tie it all together in a way. Quite happy with that spread as well. Now let's go on to day 33. We had the prompt of newspaper. So I did get a cutout from an old newspaper I had laying around, and some more cuttings from the Vogue of the other spread. So to be honest, this page was kind of added on as I created day 17. I did only glue this half into the journal and then just folded over the second part. So this created a new page, and then I did work on to this page for the day 23, and it also had those beauty news and stuff from the Vogue thing already on the back, which I thought would fit perfectly for the newspaper theme. So I just added this little daily newspaper clipping and some pictures more. So now on to day 21 for the Junk Journal Challenge. This is another really simple one. I have a few spreads throughout this journal that are super simple, where I just needed to get something done a bit more quicker, but I'm happy that I could stick with the challenge and complete all 31 days of junk journaling, as well as filming it for all of you guys. So I hope you enjoyed watching all those daily creative videos and had fun taking part in some creative me time each day. Here is a quote from Tolkien: "Not all those who wander are lost," which I thought would fit perfectly onto this map for the prompt of map. Now the backside of this map is empty in a way, but I thought it would be fitting to just leave some space in between and not have another little prompt crammed onto here. So now on to day 18 and the prompt of bright, and here I decided to use this bit transparent paper and some gold pens to illustrate this light bulb. I don't know if you even can read that here. You can see it. "Let your mind shine bright." And then this guy is having a light bulb moment in a way, and everything is sparkling with some gold. Really love how simple this spread is, but it turned out so very well. Again, another spread I'm really happy with. It's kind of a thing with this journal. I'm just really happy how this complete journal came together and all the different things I did for the Junk Journal January challenge. So now let's go on to day 24, and the prompt was line, and I thought it would be perfect to use this old page of a botanical book where you have wines and things going through, and then I did continue them onto the text of the spread and just did a bit of an illustration, very simple spread. But I feel like for this journal it's also, the more simple the page turned out, or the more simple the idea was and what I did for the day, the better this completed spread turned out in a way. I hope it makes sense. So now let's go on to day 8 and the prompt of antique. There I did print out a bunch of old illustrations and things and just glued them down here on this old book page and the old music sheets, and just included a little quote, old things, new ideas, and just having a blast with this. Now on to day 27 and the prompt of Crumbled, and I did crumble up here this paper and here as well. And I did use the golden pen, this one here, to mark onto the folds and the crumbled parts of the paper to kind of create some lines and interest onto the spread. Now onto a very minimalistic spread, which was the one I created for day 25. And the prompt for day 25 was modern in a way. So I wanted to keep it more minimalistic and clean looking. So I thought this would fit the theme quite well. I did found this water picture in one of the magazines I had for the challenge. And then I did find this quote as well, which I thought would fit the theme in a way. Make radical art from everyday sources. Now onto another spread that didn't get filled out in a way, but I think it's quite fine because there's so much going on here anyway with this illustration and everything, so maybe I will add something onto here, but I don't know really what. That's why I kept it empty for now. Yeah, like I said in the beginning, maybe I will go back and do a bit of journaling on a few pages or glue in some different things later on if I find something that fits. But for now, the journal is finished like it is. So let's go on to day 16. And the prompt for day 16 was unfold. So let's do a bit of unfolding here. And now another unfolding. This is another spread that is super simple, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. And I think I really like the interactive elements in this journal quite a lot. There will be also something coming. And yeah, here I just wrote unfold here and then allow yourself to unfold too. And that's the super simple spread for day 16 of this Junk Journal January. Here's another spread that didn't really get something onto it. Maybe I will add a little something here. I feel like this spread is fine to kept empty, or maybe add a quote here, but I feel like here has to get something onto. But for now. On to day 20 and the prompt of tissue, and here I decided to just get one of our Christmas tissues and do a little skirt for the dress that the girl is wearing here, and I just wrote be fearlessly authentic. Now on to day 26 and the prompt of movement, and for that I did another one of these interactive elements, which is a little Pac-Man that can eat different stuff, like life is about, and then you can turn it around. Fun, love, happy. He's just eating his way through all the different things you need in life, kind of. I just had some fun with this challenge and this journal. So here I did glue just down a bit of different paper to cover up the back of this, I don't know what it's called, this pin, and I just made it a bit of a collage-y kind of thing. Or maybe we could add some of the new washi tape here as well. Yeah, that's just something I like to do, make a bit of collages onto empty pages in my junk journal, or add a quote here and there later on. Now on to day number 4 and the prompt of outline, and here I did use this transparent spread again, and I did the 4 on this side where I also drew on, and then you can also see the outline of this one line face on the back side, and I did add a smile onto the number of the day to just add a bit. So now on to another maps page that didn't get really used, but I feel like those little map bits and bobs throughout the journal are so pretty anyways, so it's fine. Now on to day 7 and the theme of tuck spot. Here I did add one of my Christmas cards that I received to keep it in the journal, to keep some memories. On to another 2 spreads that didn't quite get used, but like I already said, some spreads have so much going on already that it's kind of fine that I don't have something more to it. Now on to day 14, where the prompt was balance, and here I did another really simple spread with just some stone illustrations balancing and the quote, "Life is about balance." Like I said, I just did keep some of the days really simple, and some of them are more decked out, just whatever I fancied in that moment, kind of. Here is another more interactive, decked out, a bunch of ephemera, different collage bits and bobs kind of spread. For day 29, the prompt was reveal, and I thought it would be fun to have a super interactive flip around, find different things kind of spread. So here's just a spread which love is all around. If you are allowed to reveal itself, to have a quote that also includes the prompt of the day in a way. And then if you get this spread from behind the little ticket here, you can see that it has a different illustration on the back. And also before we did that, we could see a bit of the page beneath the spread through this hard cutout. And then you have another tag here, another one of the printables you can get in my Etsy shop. And then if you fold that back, you can see the beautiful illustration of the paper here at the bottom. And if you have the tag like that, you can peek through here, and that's what I thought would be fun to have for reveal. Now on to day 19. Oh god, I hope that this video doesn't get too rambly. Hopefully stay tuned, everyone. We will see how much fluff I can cut out in the post. So day 19, the prompt was bubble. And here I did get another one of those transparent tissues to draw a bunch of just bubbles and glue down this little butterfly sticker onto just some music sheets. And I did include the quote, "Let's be free and fly around." Just another super simple spread, but I think it turned out really cute. Here is another empty spread where I really want to maybe just journal a bit in the future. Now on to another one of my favorite spreads for this junk journal, which is day 22, which was the prompt of repeat. And I did photocopy this photo and then ripped it apart and did a little collage of the repeating subjects. And I think it fits the map spread that I picked for it in the background pretty well, and the colors match so well. That's why I really love this spread. Now on to day 28 and the prompt of seal. And here I did include this little sticker from a wine bottle. I think it's a 90s whatever. And I did include a little tag here, make this kind of spread a little present. And because I had all those gold elements here, I did just include a fortune cookie thing down here. It's just a wrapping paper which says fortune cookie, and I thought it would be fun and fitting to have this down here. Onto the back side of our reveal package kind of spread, which was this tag thing and a little collage. And then this here is day 30, and the prompt for that was fabric. This has to be another one of my absolute favorite spreads from this journal. Oh my god, I have so many favorite spreads. I feel like we could count the not favorite spreads and be done with it faster in this journal, but to be honest, that's kind of the thing you want when you are making art, or don't you? To have a junk journal or your journal and sketchbook in the end that you absolutely love nearly all of those pages. But I feel like if you set yourself the goal to have one of those and create something where every page is perfect, it will not happen. If you just create whatever and don't put so much pressure on yourself, you can end up with a book full of amazing spreads where you can't decide which one is your favorite. So it's in a way all about the pressure we put on ourselves and all the expectations we put on our work, but I know it's super complicated to not pressure ourselves to make everything look perfect, especially if you start with a blank page and a brand new sketchbook where you want it to be super neat and beautiful. But I really think for me this is the perks of junk journaling, because all the pages are already not blank. There's something on there already, and it's kind of mixed matched and maybe ripped apart somewhere, and it's just something that I had laying around anyways, so it's nothing that I put a bunch of money into, and that's why I can create more freely and loosely in my junk journals, and that's something I really enjoy about the creative journey of junk journaling, to just create with less pressure than the blank space in a sketchbook. Now, enough rambling about the pressure of creativity and the perfectionism. Let's go on to the last spreads in this junk journal. Like I already said, I absolutely love the texture of this spread, where the fabric was embossed in a way, and the beautiful trim here. I think this turned out really nice. And now on to day 6, which was embossed, I think. Yeah, it was embossed, and I did just do this dessert kind of thing here. And now on to our final spread for this junk journal January, which was the day 31, and the theme was letter, and I decided to write a letter to myself, just make a bit of a collage here where I did. This was the spread I glued the letter onto. It's an envelope from one of the Christmas cards we got, and I just included letter to myself, and then yeah. And I think it will be quite interesting to look back on that at the end of 2025 and see how my focus shifted, or what of the things I wrote to myself came true. We will see. Like I said, I'm really happy with how this journal completed turned out, and it's super chunky and thick, and I really love it. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, a thumbs up would make me really happy. And if you want to join me on this creative adventure and many more creative challenges and experiments to come, hit the subscribe button down below. Until then, see you very soon. And remember, I will leave a link to all the Junk Journal January challenges if you want to check out the process, how this journal came about. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, a thumbs up would make me really happy. And if you want to join me on this creative adventure and many more creative adventures to come, hit the subscribe button down below. And until then, happy creating. See you very soon.